Hi, this is Mrs. Swigart, and we're doing solving absolute value equations, which is lesson 2.5. Now, you've dealt with absolute value before, but some of you may not know what it really means. Okay, first off, it's a symbol. The two lines represent absolute value, and what it means is it's the distance that x is from 0 on the number line. It's always positive, and let's look at an example. Okay, we have -3. When we pull it out of the absolute value, it becomes +3. Why? Because we are measuring the distance from 0. It's not just 3. It means something. It's how far is it from 0. Okay? So be careful. Make sure you understand what you're actually stating. Okay? Let's look at another example. Once again, our number line, we're measuring the distance. Even though it's positive inside, we're still telling the distance from 0. Remember that. It's important. Okay, next. Now we're going to actually apply absolute value. So we're going to put -3 where the b is. So it becomes -3 plus 8, which becomes 5. Why? Because one's positive, one's negative. And then when we pull it out, it's still 5, because it was already positive to begin with. So it's the distance from 0 is 5. Here's another one. This time we're going to put -5 in again, but we're going to have a little different result. Okay, -5 minus 4, they're both the same, so it becomes -9. But hey, I got to take it out of the absolute value bracket, so it becomes just plain old 9. So it's 9 spaces from 0. You got it. Okay, here we've got a little subtraction of 3 after the absolute value bracket. So that means we've got to work what's inside and then come back and do one more step. So this equation becomes this. We end up with -9 times 2 is -18. One's negative, one's positive, so we're going to subtract and get -11. -11 minus 3 is +11 minus 3, which is 8. Don't forget, did the -3 change? No, it stayed the same. Why? Because it's outside of the absolute value bracket. Okay, here we have a 3 right next to the line. That means multiply. So the equation becomes this when we put our 3 in. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. We're going to pull the 5 out in a minute. It's going to be positive. Positive 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 5 is 20. Okay, that's most of the examples that you're going to see in this absolute value. There's a couple of other unique things. Sometimes you'll have an equation that looks like this. Okay? And to be honest, it looks like it's the same, but they didn't give you something to substitute in, did they? So in this scenario where we have an absolute value and we're solving for what's inside, we have to solve it a little bit different. We're going to write the original statement as is, but we're going to make one of them positive and one of them negative, and we're going to solve it. So it looked like this. Okay? Let's do the left side first. Okay, we're going to take the 4 to the other side, do the opposite. So we're going to subtract 4. We got -3 is one of our two solutions. Now let's do the other side. We're going to take 4, take it to the other side, do the opposite. That's why it's -4. Negative ends up with -5. So here are our two solutions for this problem. Now, anytime you have a problem like this where they don't give you the value to substitute in, you're going to have two answers. Don't forget to make one of your numbers on the other side of the equal sign positive and the other one negative. That's the key. You have to start there. Okay? Next issue. Sometimes you may have a question on your homework that asks you to come up with the equation for the graph, and they tell you it's an absolute value. So here's how this goes. first off, you can find out which number is in the middle. And in our problem, 1 is in the middle. Also, you need to realize that you're moving 3 points in both directions. Those issues will become very important when you start to write the equation for this line. So the distance from 1 to negative 2 is 3 units, and the distance from 1 to positive 4 is 3 units. So we would write our equation like this. So notice here is your center number, whatever it is, and then out to the far end is the number of units that you moved between. Okay, so it's just plugging those two numbers in, and then you have your equation. You won't have any that are harder than that. Not today. When you get to Algebra 2, hey, they'll throw that stuff at you, and they'll teach you how to find it in a more detailed pattern. Well, good luck. Looking forward to working with you tomorrow. Bye.